Hello, beautiful souls. I'm clearly on a roll here. It's 2:10 a.m. here in Singapore, and I thought I'll do one last discourse before I go to bed. Usually I sleep much earlier, but today I'm inspired. So again, I had this thought and going through just thinking about all of your journeys and my own journey, I decided, you know what, this will be a perfect topic. So, welcome to all the new subscribers who just subscribed, and for all of you who have been here since the start, and for all of you who are sharing such lovely, kind, caring, and supportive comments. Your compliments mean the world to me, so I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for all of those beautiful, beautiful words. And I promise I will reply to all of them. Just give me some time. But I thank you all for watching, supporting, and resonating with my videos. So today I'm here again with a very sacred topic. And before that, if you guys want to work one-on-one with me, you can book a special first-time psychic guidance twin flame session through my website. All right, then let's dive right into topic. As the topic says, why divine masculines seem like takers and sometimes freeloaders. So this is a truthful look at energetic imbalance in the twin flame journey. All right. So the reason your divine masculine is not giving because they are not ready to receive. So before we even talk about freeloading, we need to be clear on this. Most divine masculines are not truly receiving your love. They are consuming it literally. That's why the food you cook for them, excuse me, the food you cook for them, the gifts you give them, they just consume it like those bees. They just take and take and take and take, and you give and give and give and give. But there's a difference between receiving and consuming. Because when a soul receives, there is reverence, attunement, and awareness. And when a soul consumes, there's entitlement. Divine masculines out there. Entitlement, unconsciousness, and no sense of cost. So unawakened or semi-awakened divine masculines often take your healing energy without offering support, often take your love bombing expression as a way to replenish themselves. And they absorb your validation when you keep telling them, hey, you're so handsome, you're so smart, you're so brilliant. They absorb your validation without giving clarity, and they enjoy your attention, your spiritual devotion without showing up emotionally or practically with the least respect at all. And it only becomes worse. And the more you give, it becomes worse. So this is not divine reciprocity. This is actually spiritual freeloading. And yes, it's a real pattern. So, there are divine masculines who would visit your house all the time, and you would be like cooking. You would have probably never really cooked in your life, and all of a sudden you're doing everything to make him feel at home. You're literally doing everything. You're buying him presents, you're writing him cards, you're buying his family presents. Of course, you see, that's the thing about us divine feminines. We overdo things too much, and the thing is, we probably have never done this to anybody before. And same thing, your divine masculine is also not really consuming, let me correct that, from anyone before. So that's spiritual freeloading. And yes, and let me affirm it, it's a real pattern. And let me emphasize this, it is a real pattern. Spiritual freeloading, it is a real pattern. And let me be very clear, all right? The divine masculines do it because they're unconscious, and they come from a place of entitlement. They come from a place that they can keep consuming everything and then throw you away like you are a piece of, like you don't matter at all. Energetic freeloading is the wound of the unawakened masculine. So let's call it what it is. They often become freeloaders in your field, and that includes energetically draining you while refusing contacts. For example, like watching watching you from afar, seeing your messages in silence while giving nothing back, keep consuming whatever you give them, keep taking it, taking and taking and consuming and taking and taking and taking, using your light as fuel for their ego or karmic survival while pretending they don't care. And they will take everything and they will say they are not interested in you. I really, really still trying to figure out that logic. If they're not interested in you, they shouldn't be hanging out with you in the first place, right? But well, this all comes from the unawakened divine masculine. So remember, this isn't just emotional avoidance, it's actually parasitic behavior marked as confusion or indecision. And while it's not always conscious, it's actually very destructive. The divine masculines think our love as utility, not a sacred gift. So when our divine masculine is in ego distortion, he would treat your energy like a free resource, a substitute therapist, especially in category 1 twin flames, where they keep choosing someone else, but they keep coming to you for free therapy. Or a silent initiate who is like, consumes everything, consumes the last breath of you and completely disappears. Or they treat your energy like you're a loyal backup or a default emotional charger, because he unconsciously believes she will be there, she will understand, she always gives. I can lash out at her, I can throw my temper at her, I can block her, I can tell her, get out of my life, get out of my way. I can literally run away from her, but she will always be there waiting outside my cave. And so they become a spiritual freeloader. And he shows up. Your divine masculine shows up only when it's convenient, only when it's lost, and only when he needs something. So this isn't because he's evil, it's because he's underdeveloped in soul accountability. He hasn't yet realized the true union, that true union requires giving, not just drawing from a woman who became his soul source. So you will give him 1,000 gifts and he will give you like a freaking USB cable. That too, probably he thought you would give it to him back, and he will think that, hey, that is just joking. What a example to use. Oh, you may have given him so much material stuff, unconditional love. You might like literally, change your change your appointments. I've had some clients literally, they would change their schedule because the DM said he will be at this place and they'll fly out to meet him there. Or they will literally, just take and take. They will cancel with their friends because they can get a free meal. But actually, I don't want to make it sound like that, but it's far from the truth. Actually, they want to be there in your energy. So it's not really about material freeloading. It's actually spiritual freeloading. It's actually worse. So it's like your divine masculine shows up when it's convenient, only when he's lost and only when he needs something. So that's why I want to emphasize on it. And like I said, he hasn't realized that true union requires giving, not just drawing from you, who became his soul source. Soul source. So how it actually feels to us. So the divine feminine awakens through betrayal. So literally, we are awakening through betrayal. So when you're constantly giving your psychic energy, emotional attention, intuitive insights, or unconditional love, and he's showing up with nothing, it hurts. You begin to wonder, why do I feel like his mother, therapist, or free life coach? Why does he get to access my sacred self with no cost? Why does it feel like I'm paying the emotional rent in this connection? Why is it that I'm always feeding him? Doesn't he have any money to buy his own food? Because you are. And he's been freeloading on your evolution. He's getting fed by your growth while avoiding his own. And the turning point often comes from taking to transmuting. So here's the real spiritual lesson. Many divine masculines don't begin to awaken until you stop being the energetic supply. And that's why I mean, like total cutoff, until you seal your field, pull your light back, remove the unpaid access to your soul. This is when he realizes you are not a comfort source. You are not a backup plan. You were the divine itself showing up through human love. How beautiful is that, isn't it? And he wants to be part of your field again. And you know what? That is extremely beautiful. But he must be sacred enough to hold it. That's the thing. Can he hold it? So that is why. So that is why, everything that you're feeling, you're going through, you must remember it actually comes from these places. So I wanted to go take a little step further into why the divine masculine seems, why is he a taker? So when a divine masculine is unawakened or partially awakened, is often functioning from the lower chakras, especially the root and solar plexus. So these centers govern security, power, and control. And in this state, he's not truly in his heart or soul awareness. So when he receives love, presence, nurturing, like through food, through your cooking, through your gifts, or the word I can't use, energy, from you, he takes without reciprocating because he's energetically incapable of reciprocity yet. And he interprets your offering as something that feeds his broken self-worth rather than awakens his higher self. So he feels good because, you pedestalize him, you put him in a state of divine pedestalization. This isn't true sacred masculine energy. This is like core wounded masculine energy, taking to survive and not receiving to connect. And that's why I say consume. So that's why they don't know the cost of what they are taking. You see, most divine masculine, really, they don't take because they want to hurt, because they don't consciously realize that they're draining you or consuming your energy. They think it's normal for us divine feminines to give and be emotionally available. Your divine masculine confuses your spiritual availability with emotional unlimited access. And he doesn't understand that sacred love requires, like I said, emphasizing again, energetic accountability. You're giving him source energy and he thinks it's just comfort. So society programs them to take and not feel. So patriarchal conditioning tells the masculine, don't feel, don't need help, don't cry, take what you need and move forward. So this creates a wounded masculine who doesn't know how to receive or reciprocate. So even if your divine masculine loves you, he may retreat, dismiss you, ghost you, or emotionally withdraw after he is energetically taken. He may mistake your devotion for his worthiness without realizing he hasn't earned that devotion through presence. He's also testing if your love has conditions. So this is unconscious but real. Many divine masculines push to see how much you'll give. See if you will still be there if they are absent, silent, cold, or selfish, or mean. It's a form of it's a form of subconscious self-sabotage rooted in shame and fear. This is exactly what plays in their mind. If they take everything, like if he takes everything, and if she still stays, then maybe he's worthy. But if she leaves, then he would confirm that he was never lovable. So the wounded masculine doesn't receive love. He tests love, and in doing so, takes until you collapse. And you are the first one to offer soul level love. So you are often the first person to mirror his soul, not his mask. And his ego doesn't know how to handle that. So he consumes the light because it suits his pain, but runs the light because it threatens his illusion. So he's not taking from you. He's taking from the divine and doesn't even realize it until you stop offering it freely. That's why the true masculine awakens through the consequence of his taking. He only stops to only, and he only starts evolving when you stop feeding him your soul while he gives you breadcrumbs. You reclaim your light and you demand balance. True divine masculine energy is actually very beautiful, protective, present, and powerful, or not and not and not para and not like a parasite. And I can say that when truly the divine masculine becomes the awakening, when the wounded divine masculine becomes the awakening divine masculine, you will then understand how much he cares. And it's in the little things, from how he adjusts the temperature of your aircon if you are too cold, or increases the temperature if you're too cold, and decreases the temperature if you're too warm. Bringing you water, supporting you in your goals and dreams, truly respecting you for the divine you are, for the goddess you are, for the life-giving force you are. And that's when you will realize this is the version that deserves the giving, not that version, the entitled, spoiled brat version who takes and takes and takes and apologize, because as divine feminines, we give and give and give. So it's not entirely his fault per se. But you see, the bottom line is this all happens because it's an energetic orchestration of our higher selves. If we don't do this, none of our shadow issues will come to the surface. Nothing will. And respecting our boundaries, truly awakening the codes. Everything that we gift is awakening something within him. Even though he's consuming, it is part of the journey. So that's what differentiates a monadic twin flame journey. But remember, your divine masculine only awakens into this protective, present, and powerful and caring and loving self after he has broken the heart. Yeah, he has broken your heart, even though you held his soul. So what can you do as the divine feminine? Withdraw the unconscious offering, not from revenge, but from alignment. Don't prove your love. Let him grow into love. Hold your light steady, and no longer in ways that abandon you. So the bottom line is, it's not that divine masculines are inherent takers. It's that they haven't learned to become receivers, because they would require softness, surrender, soul truth, and the death of ego control. Your presence feels like the closest you can ever get to heaven. And most divine masculines don't know how to relate to that state of pure consciousness. Yet, he only knows how to use the energy to feel less empty. But as the divine feminine, you stop giving from a place of depletion. He's finally forced to meet your light with his own, or he'll be left in the dark forever. So that's the reason why the wound of the divine feminine isn't just that he left. It's that he took so much before leaving and then acted like it cost him everything. But here's the truth. He didn't break you because he was powerful. He broke you because you were too open too soon. to someone who hadn't earned it. And that has to stop now. So this isn't about revenge. It's about energetic alignment and sacred discernment. You're not here to be an energetic buffet for a man on a karmic diet. You're here to be met, honored, and matched. So that's the reason why, the next time you're love bombing him or the next time you're giving him all of your attention, think about it. Is he consuming you like a beast? Or is he receiving it and reciprocating it? So with that, I hope you have enjoyed this sacred discourse. And if you have any comments, your thoughts, do share it on the comment section. And if you guys want to work one-on-one with me, I do one-on-one sessions. You can book my special first-time psychic Akashic Records guidance session via my website. And then we can, after booking, after you've made payment, and then I can give you a time slot. And usually I'll give it to you. I'll give you the earliest available timeline. I mean, earliest available timing. Usually the next day or even the day itself if there are availabilities, or the day after. All right. With that, I'll see you all again tomorrow. And good afternoon to those in the US, and good evening to those in Europe, and good night for the rest of the world. All right then. Take care and bye-bye.